Hello there, my name is Void, and today I'll be reacting to Battlefield 6 cheaters are everywhere, which is fucking true, because I was playing the open beta and I was like, god damn, the open beta is fucking Saturday. Literally the first day, and I think it was the second game I was in, and I came across someone who was like shotgunning across the map, headshots only. I was like, fuck's sake, can we not have anything nice? Anyway, the video's off to a positive start.
A content creator has recently been accused of cheating in the Battlefield 6 beta after she posted a now massively viral clip showing off her aim. Since then, the creator has been banned and then unbanned from Twitch. And the witch hunt sparked an even larger conversation about just how casual.
You better show the video of that scumbag cheating. I know this guy should not be unbanned.
So Battlefield 6's first beta weekend has ended, and it is clear that the game has the potential to take over on release. On Saturday alone, the open beta hit over 500,000.
It was surprising how good Battlefield 6 actually was, to be honest. Because Battlefield 2042 was a mess, Battlefield 5 was also a mess, Battlefield 4 launched as a mess but became really good. This is the best Battlefield game I've had in years. However, it's not that special. It's just a return to what Battlefield used to be, and somehow we're now celebrating that on every rooftop. It's pretty frustrating that Battlefield 6 is just fine. It's as good as Bad Company 2 or Battlefield 2, but it doesn't do anything different. It's just Battlefield 4 in 2025 on like Unreal Engine 5 or whatever EA decides to use if it's not Frost Engine. So it's like it's not incredibly amazing. It's just back to what Battlefield 4 has been. The last Battlefield game that was good before this was Battlefield 1. There's nothing special being introduced in Battlefield 6 other than apparently the anti-cheat, which is apparently doing fuck all.
By day one of the early access beta, clips were already circulating online showing off cheats in Battlefield 6. Wall hacks,
it was day one.
We even had live streaming full rage hackers.
Yes, guess who's back?
Oh no, it's not a British person. Oh, what a dickhead.
In a vengeance, kids.
What is the point though, right? It's a beta. It's an open weekend. Have fun with the game. Unless this guy thinks cheating is fun, in which case he's a proper cunt, which I'm definitely leaning towards. And he sucks. Like, he's just standing out in the open. Oh my, I'm so fucking tilted.
I have to explain why this is not good for a game that hasn't even come out yet, but to be fair, since the game is still in beta, the devs do have quite a while to work on the anti-cheat, which...
Nah, that's fucking cope is what that is. In my opinion, the only good anti-cheat we've had in FPS online shooters so far has been Valorant. The problem is, it's Valorant. It's not amazing. You give Epic so much control of your computer, and that is the only way to solve it. But then Battlefield 6 also has a kernel level anti-cheat, and it's doing fuck all now. I don't know, my confidence in preventing these anti-cheats is very minimal. This is from someone who queued in Counter-Strike Global Offensive all the way to solo queue Global Elite. The reason that I quit playing Counter-Strike was because of the cheaters. If Valve can't solve that problem, I highly doubt someone in EA is going to solve it, because we all know EA is at the bottom of the barrel.
Exactly what they're doing. In addition to the original viral tweet, the same user posted alleged conversations between cheaters claiming that their software had already been detected. On top of that, LexMate,
yeah, I'm not too surprised at them being detected.
Just a few hours later, confirming.
But the problem is, detection means nothing if they don't get instantly banned.
Then the next day, a member of the anti.
Here's my take on this, right? As an older gentleman to the gaming space, my hot take is that online gaming, specifically for shooters, was so much better when we had community servers, where people would rent servers, they'd install the game's client on it, people would connect to that, and then you'd have local admins who would ban these bastards. It worked so much better than doing this universal anti-cheat bullshit, which never seems to fucking work anyway. And it's so much better when you just have a community server where you have like actual admins who enact the rules. How these modern anti-cheats work is they don't detect a cheater and then ban them. What they do is they detect a cheater, they detect several hundred, possibly 1,000 more using the same kind of technology, and then they do a ban wave. So rather than taking out one person after one person, they take out hundreds at a time. But the problem is they call that group of hundreds let's say every couple of days or every couple of weeks. Maybe, okay, maximum probably a week is when they call these cheaters. But that's still a week of them running around the fucking game. It's not good enough. Man, I'm so angry.
Cheat team posted in the EA forums, discussing the cheating issue as well as their use of secure boot. As I'm sure many of you noticed when first trying to launch the beta, Battlefield 6 requires secure boot to be enabled. It's a pretty easy task in your BIOS, assuming that your
I honestly didn't even get that warning.
Among other things,
Maybe it's because I just set it up like that by default, but
website, Secure Boot allows their Javelin anti-cheat system to have kernel access, which in theory should block a whole host of
which in theory should do a whole bunch of shit. But then I'm sacrificing my PC security for this bullshit that doesn't work.
Clarified that the use of Secure Boot isn't supposed to be a silver bullet.
A silver bullet is why fucking bother then. She's not gonna fucking cheaters.
On top of the 44,000 player reports, they claim that their anti-cheat has already blocked over 330,000 attempts to cheat. Now,
but that's nothing. 330,000 attempts at cheating. How popular was the weekend? At peak, it had something like 500,000 players. So over 50% of people who logged in once during the weekend, over 50% of them were trying to cheat in some capacity. Okay, now let's say 20% of those were like false flags because of this fucking Javelin nonsense bullshit they've installed. That's still a lot of fucking cheaters, and they didn't get banned at the weekend. And those are just people that they might have prevented. I still saw people in game. I played Battlefield 6 for 10 hours at the weekend, 5 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday. I still saw cheaters in 20% of my games. That is too much. And the problem is, Battlefield isn't even a competitive shooter. It's not like Valorant. It's not like Counter-Strike where you actually have like a valuable rank. It's just a plebby normal shooter like Call of Duty where no one gives a fuck about how high ranked you are. So these people are just cheating just to be bastards. That's it. But they're like the power trip or whatever, you know, for whatever fucking beta psychological benefit they get out of cheating.
I'd like to hope those were all instances of real cheats being detected and not just players who didn't have Secure Boot enabled or had outdated.
I did see some people like say, hey, I've got Valorant installed, and now Battlefield is kicking off to tell me to remove Valorant.
Access. Little did we know, once the beta hit the masses, things would get even more complicated. Like any good beta, once the floodgates opened, clips started pouring into social media. Players having fun, testing mechanics, and of course, clip farming. It's not like Battlefield is new to those types of viral moments, but it's clear that over the past few years, creators with high mechanical skill have found ways to go viral by posting this kind
of so War Owl's second law of gaming is that a sufficient high level of skill is indistinguishable from cheats. I don't 100% agree with that. However, the videos that you've seen online, particularly of like that cat girl streamer, whatever, that is 100% cheats because they flick to the wall, try and shoot through the wall, and then they move around the wall because they don't know the map. So you can't bullshit me with this is it. This is the fucking clip. Okay, acceptable levels of skill, and then you'll see like you'll start to see the snapping of the aim.
Oh my God,
look at that. He immediately swiped to that sniper in the corner. So you can't bullshit me on this.
And fast flicking for a while now, but one specific Battlefield 6 clip caused
the thing is, it's not about the fast flicking, it's the flicking and the immediate stopping.
Flicks were just too fast and her spray control just too accurate to be legit. Especially with one moment when Riley flicks
and then straight through the wall,
to shoot a rock, only for an enemy to
and it shoots someone who's out of audio distance, so you can't hear the footsteps at this range. It's complete bullshit. I'm absolutely not accepting that this person isn't cheating. And for some reason, Twitter was then like, oh, but this person's trans, so it's okay. Fuck off. It doesn't matter what they are. They could be a fucking dolphin for all I care. I care about them cheating. I don't care about what they identify as. This person is a cheating scumbag, and there's no convincing me otherwise.
Directly behind that rock.
Look at this. Absolute bullshit. Like, watch it again.
For an enemy to be directly behind that rock.
And snap. You can't even hear that guy over there. Battlefield is one of the noisiest games in the world as well. So like, you're just not gonna hear these footsteps. It's absolute bullshit.
Wow, I flicked straight at that guy through the wall. Oopsie.
Yeah, of course you did, fucking cheater.
Many, this was the smoking gun, and it sparked not only a massive debate about whether or not Riley was legit, but about how Battlefield should be played. While some were certain this was cheating, others defended Riley, arguing that the boomer battle dads just couldn't keep up anymore. And it is simply a reality of how mechanics have changed and people have gotten better.
No, it's not. The mechanics for this game is literally Battlefield 4. I'm not even joking when I'm saying it's Battlefield 4 in 2025. It feels almost identical in terms of the movement and the shooting. It's a little bit tighter, it's a little bit nicer. Obviously, it's higher frame rates now and stuff like that. It's not the fact that people who play Battlefield are more boomer orientated. I think that's complete wank, and that's just cope to like deflect on people cheating pretty much.
Some even went so far as to point out that Riley's mechanics weren't actually perfect and that her flicks sometimes missed the mark. Regardless, to try and clear her name, Riley streamed with a hand cam and showed her task manager and OBS multiple times.
I still don't care. That is just such a smoking gun anyway for me, because we've seen people do this on like the Call of Duty Warzone stuff. They're like, oh hey, here's my task manager open, here's all my other bullshit. Oh, and by the way, I'm actually streaming on a different PC. And like, if you're doing these kernel level anti-cheats, I'm fairly confident you can then do stuff, because you already have access to Ring 0. Do you really give a fuck if you give the cheat programs access to Ring 0? So they can do all sorts of masking. So the fact that you just whip out a hand cam is just such a... I understand the intention of trying to verify for proof, but it's still not proof.
Prove innocence. I don't think she's cheating. For one, people are hyper
bullshit. She's absolutely cheating. I'm not accepting this at all.
Nearly every online game, but at the same time, paranoia can lead to a lot of false accusations against players who are just better than you. Also, I think
bullshit. Okay, so a bit of a law drop on this one. I have done so I've done competitive esports at a high level, and I've also been part of tournaments as admins who did cheat detection. So I've been there watching players, like determining whether they're cheating or not for access to various tournaments and different ladder levels and stuff like that. I had a pretty good accuracy rating of about 95%. Most of the time, when you actually confronted these players and like tried to get them into a situation of where they couldn't then but they couldn't bullshit their way through, or they couldn't pretend that they're not cheating, the vast majority of time that person would just disappear. They'd never come for the full trial to say like, hey, no, I'm absolutely not cheating, I'll play with someone behind me watching the screen. The second it got to that level, those people just vanished from the internet. So like, I'm not accepting this at all. I'm staunchly against this cheating bullshit.
I think the Battlefield community just isn't used to seeing clips like this go viral so
No. You can get fucked on this. I think the Battlefield community, and again, who even is the Battlefield community? Battlefield was dead. Like, no one was that interested in Battlefield 5. No one was that interested in Battlefield 2042. So like, the Battlefield community has been like pretty wasted over the last few years. Like, the last good one was Battlefield 1, which was like over 10 years ago at this point. So like, people who played that game are now at the bare minimum 10 years older when they were. And in that time, what has been the most predominant and successful shooter? It's been Call of Duty. So now you're bringing in Call of Duty mechanics to Battlefield. It's not like people played Battlefield 1, stopped playing all shooters in the interim, and then they've just come back for Battlefield 6. Yeah, there's going to be a very small percentage of people doing that, but it's going to be so low. I think it's absolute bullshit to say, oh, Battlefield players aren't coping with this. I think it's pandering to the crowd, in my opinion. I think this is complete bullshit of someone just sitting on the fence and not having an opinion and not wanting to offend someone that is actually cheating.
Struggling with relevancy for a while now, so you don't see stuff like this really circulate. But the fact is, some players...
Yeah, like literally to what I just said is like, people have been playing shooters other than Battlefield in the interim since the last good one. So I think that's a completely wasted point.
To just legitimately clip farm like this. They have the skill, so they build a following and they show it off, just like Shroud has done over the last decade. And
and like, so for example, I've done some Marvel Rivals clips, particularly using like Punisher and stuff like that, and you can see flick aiming, and you can see like that level of precision, but what you don't see is me flicking through walls, trying to blast through a wall, and then like, oh shit, oh, I completely just flicked through a wall. No. I'm gonna flex as someone who is a top 1% Marvel Rivals player. I'm in the top 40,000 players in the world. When I was playing Counter-Strike, I was in the top 4% of players in the world, and I was solo queuing in Europe, which is the best of the best. So I don't know. For me, I see gameplay like that, and I just think it's complete bullshit.
In reality, we're usually just seeing the highlights here. Listen, these types of players know positioning and timing so well that they can often...
Oh yeah, they know positioning and timing so well on an open beta for the very first day within the very first hour. Nah, man, this neckbeard's getting too long.
Where the next opponent will be. Watch a full VOD and you'll probably see a bunch of whiffs or flicks towards empty spaces. What Riley and others are posting...
Flick to empty spaces, what?
A bunch
What's
of whiffs or flicks towards...
Shoots, toggles through the wall.
Empty spaces. What Riley...
Enemies appear through the wall and then kill him.
Just the best bits. Regardless, Riley was banned on Twitch due to what seemed like mass reporting, but she has since been unbanned. And in the aftermath, a lot of people have come out in her defense, not just in regards to the false accusations, but because of the unacceptable transphobia she had.
Who gives a fuck if she's trans or not? Literally, this is just completely beside the point for me. I don't give a fuck what they are. As I said, they could be a fucking dolphin for all I give a damn. I give a damn about the obvious cheating on an open beta weekend for a game that's not even competitive. That pisses me off so much more than competitive cheating for something like, say, Valorant. Because at least I know in Valorant they're gonna get banned. This is so frustrating because in Battlefield, these people aren't gonna get banned. It's just EA sucks balls.
Has faced. I think some players do legitimately believe she's cheating. But it's also clear that many people in this conversation are simply turned off by that specific style of play. Battlefield has always been, at its core, an objective-based game set in a pretty large...
This YouTube channel is very whiffy. There's like... They're very aware of trying to not offend anyone.
I feel like it goes against the spirit of the game for longtime fans. And I get that. There are so many other games where that type of playstyle makes more sense. And yeah, we don't need another sweaty game.
This is another stupid argument, in my opinion, because Battlefield has always been combined arms. That means you have fast, twitchy players like myself who play assault and play a medic, and they run around with SMGs and assault rifles. That is a playstyle always been supported in Battlefield. Additionally, there's support for sniper play, which is slow, methodical, long-range shooting, or people like me who like to do the short mid-range as well. Then you've got support players who prefer to do suppression tactics, and they're finally getting rewarded for that in Battlefield 6, which is nice. So like, to say like Battlefield 6 doesn't, or Battlefield in general doesn't support these mixed playstyles is completely wrong. I don't get where these people are coming from. I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
The only things that matter. But at the same time, you can't really stop people from playing the way they want to play. And even
That's not what this is about, though. It's about people cheating.
That's a can of worms you probably don't want opened. I understand that a lot of players don't want the game they grew up with to become unrecognizable.
That's not the point at all. Everyone wants their games to evolve and become better, but they don't want mechanics. I don't think this has got anything to do with mechanics at all. They just don't want obvious cheaters. I think you could have a new Call of Duty, whatever that's going to be called, Call of Duty Blops 5 or whatever. If people are still hacking on like the beta open weekend on that, people are still going to say the exact same thing. I don't know. I think this video is... The opinions in this are pretty dog water, in my opinion.
For what it's worth, I played for 4 days straight, and I never ran into anyone playing like that.
Oh, good for you. Oh, great. I fucking love hearing that. Oh, it runs fine on my PC. Oh, fucking wonderful.
I didn't even notice. What I did notice was a return to form for a beloved series, and a level of...
Yeah, but this is it. Battlefield 6 is just a return to form. Like, it's not special. It's just Battlefield back to normal. It's not... I don't hate it. I love it. It's just that Battlefield 6 has cut away some of the stuff that was actually interesting in previous games. It brought in the dragging, like, squad mates mechanic from Battlefield 5. Great. That is actually that is the best bit from Battlefield 5. It feels more realistic, it's fun, and you can actually be more useful if you're an assault player, which is nice, and a sniper. It also introduces, so in Battlefield 2042, the only good thing in that game was the weapon customization mid-combat, and now they've completely stripped that away for that in Battlefield 6, and instead introduced a point system of where you have to like respawn, and then you have to like mess around with the point system on the weapon, and it's really clunky, and you can't save loadouts, and it's like, oh, the game is so good, and then you step back on something that was actually like really great from the previous games, and you've excluded it in this one for this clunky point system, and the UI sucks dick. Battlefield 6 is great. It's going to be remembered as one of the best. However, it's going to be remembered as one of the best just because of the absolute width between it's going to be remembered great for the absolute width and the gap between the previous installments of the series, which were awful. So I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. What can I say? Anyway, links to the video in description. I know I was a bit mean on this one about the player that was obviously cheating. I'm not going to be dissuaded otherwise. I was pretty mean at the opinions of this guy in the video. I know I called him a neckbeard. I apologize. But I honestly don't think they introduced anything of value commentary-wise. I think it was just like a very middle of the road. Oh, we can't offend anyone, so we can't have a real opinion on this. And oh, we're just going to play both sides and say, oh, people are just better and the game is different now. And we've got to be kind to one another. I think fuck off. I think that person was clearly cheating. I've seen a number of cheats in the game. I think the anti-cheat level should be way stronger if it's going to do kernel level stuff. Then, like, if you're doing kernel level anti-cheats, I don't want to see any cheaters in the game ever, basically. And in Valorant, I've seen cheaters twice. And I played Valorant for about 3 years. So, I don't know. I think Battlefield can do a lot better in this regard. I think cheaters should not exist in games. And I think anyone who does cheat is just a scumbag. Link is in the description. I'm angry. I shall catch you next time. Bye-bye.